We are confident that this is achievable.
Dr. Mwinyi explores Zanzibar's medical tourism potentials. Good evening, I am Kanki Mwaigomole. You can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBConline, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and X pages at TBConline. President Samia Suluhu Hassan says Africa must prioritize clean cooking agenda, calling for concerted efforts to revisit energy cost, adequate public awareness, research and smart partnerships to ensure clean cooking for all in Africa. She made the call during her address to the Global Clean Cooking Energy Summit in the French capital Paris, insisting Africa stands a better chance to implement the agenda due to its natural resources and high population growth rate.
Increased access would provide women more opportunities to engage in other productive economic activities, arresting cycles of poverty and inequality. On the other hand, reduced use of biomass fuels would slash exposure rates to toxic fumes and save lives. We are confident that this is achievable.
Furthermore, as champion of clean cooking energy, President Samia insists that Tanzania has established a 10-year clean cooking national strategy to ensure 80% of Tanzanians use clean cooking by 2034 through the Special National Fund.
Excellencies, amidst these challenges, central to Tanzania's own commitment is delivering on our recent launched 10-year clean cooking national strategy, which aims to ensure that 80% of Tanzanians use clean cooking solutions by the year 2034. A national fund will be established to support clean cooking, and the Prime Minister will provide high-level oversight of implementation of the strategy.
The summit aims to make 2024 a turning point for progress on ensuring clean cooking access for all. Today, nearly 4 in 5 Africans are forced to rely on polluting cooking fuels like charcoal, wood and kerosene to cook their meals, having dire impacts on health, gender equality and the environment, with women and children bearing the worst consequences. The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, says the Revolutionary Government of Zanzibar is committed to promote medical tourism through the Lumumba Regional Referral Hospital located in the Urban West region, expecting to receive many medical tourists from various countries around the world. Here are more details.
President Dr. Mwinyi made the remarks at the State House in Zanzibar when he met and held talks with the newly appointed ambassador of Tanzania to Comoros, Said Othman Yaqub, insisting that there's a large number of patients in the islands preferring medical services in Tanzania. Furthermore, Dr. Mwinyi praised the business and education opportunities that can be explored between Tanzania and the Comoro Islands.
Uhusiano maalum baina ya Komoro na Zanzibar na zaidi ni wa kidamu. Kuna community kubwa sana hapa ya watu wa Komoro.
Zanzibar and Comoros have unique relations. The relations are tied by lineage. In the past, the trade volume between Zanzibar and Comoros was huge, and even though currently is not so, there is still a chance to revive it. Since our main foreign affairs policy focuses on economic diplomacy, let us center up on trade, and since we have an MOU, therefore we know where to start.
On the other hand, Ambassador Said Othman Yaqub, apart from thanking the president, he says Kariakoo in Dar es Salaam and Zanzibar are centers of trade between Tanzania and Comoros, insisting the establishment of Lumumba Regional Hospital in Zanzibar is a great opportunity for medical tourism.
Uhusiano baina ya Tanzania na visiwa vya Komoro
The ties between Tanzania and Comoro are historical ties, and they have been lucrative to both islands. Tanzania have been exporting products to Comoros, and Comoros has been benefiting from the commodities from Tanzania. To a large extent, the goods found in Comoros come from Tanzanian markets such as Kariakoo, Zanzibar markets, and other places in Tanzania. Therefore, there are many business opportunities between these two islands.
Tanzania opened its embassy in Moroni, Comoros in 2014. Last year, 2023, the two sides established a joint permanent commission, JPC, whereby in July this year, it is expected to hold a meeting and select special representatives.
The Vice President of Tanzania, Dr. Philip Mpango, says Tanzania recognizes the significance of sports diplomacy inculcated through sports in armed forces across borders in strengthening relations between nations. The Vice President made the remarks during the opening of the 79th International Military Sports Council meeting held in Dar es Salaam, insisting that the World Military Games plays a critical role in promoting peace, harmony, and mutual respect.
Tanzania considers military sports to be a powerful diplomatic tool, transcending boundaries and strengthening relationships between nations. I therefore urge CISISM to take on the promotion of global peace and solidarity as a standing agenda of international military sports. The second issue is a gender perspective. I am of the view that this is crucial for the progress of the CISISM. We ought to prioritize women's involvement in both the participation and representation within this international organization, ensuring that their voices are heard and their contribution valued. The presence of only a few delegates, female delegates in the room, I think should motivate us to commit ourselves to promote greater participation of women in all aspects of military sports, recognizing their invaluable contribution to our armed forces.
Furthermore, the Vice President emphasizes the need for the Games to promote environmental conservation as well as a fight against non-communicable diseases around the world.
Consider using military sports to champion the fight against global environmental crisis and the upsurge of non-communicable diseases globally. In this regard, the CISISM Games and tournaments could be used to promote physical fitness and healthy diet, not just in our military, but also to educate the general public on the pivotal role of sports in preventing non-communicable diseases. Quite often, when countries are hit by environmental disasters, most of the governments we rely on the military for rescue and rehabilitation of devastated infrastructure.
The meeting brings together 320 participants from Europe, America, Asia, and Africa. The Prime Minister Kassim Majaliwa says the government of Tanzania will continue to cooperate with United Nations Children's Fund in carrying out its duties in various sectors, including health, water, and education. He expressed the commitment when he met and held talks with the resident director of the fund, El Kawish, in Dodoma. On the other hand, the resident director has commended the Tanzanian government for continuing to put plans in place to improve the education sector, as well as fighting violence against women and children. Furthermore, Welsh has vowed that the organization will continue cooperating with the government of Tanzania in implementing an action plan to deal with disasters. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Energy, Dr. Biteko, says multispectral coordination is imperative so as to establish sufficient innovative scientific findings. Representing the Vice President, Philip Mpango, Dr. Biteko made the remarks during the 32nd Annual Joint Scientific Conference held in Dar es Salaam. Mariam Mubiru was there and has prepared the following report.
The National Institute for Medical Research has been organizing annual joint scientific conferences since 1982 as part of its mandate to coordinate dissemination of health research findings in Tanzania. The forum provides an opportunity for interested parties within and outside Tanzania to share and discuss health research results, contributing to policy development and improving practice. And here, Dr. Biteko emphasizes on creating a friendly environment for scientists to conduct their research.
It is an output of research. You determine the path, where do you want to go, what is your goal, and what is your destination. So you determine how you are going to drive on the same path so that you reach your destination just because you have the research findings which give you the way going forward.
On the other hand, the NIMRI Director General Professor Said Aboud says researchers in the health sector have helped in controlling the outbreak of various diseases.
Non-communicable diseases have become a growing health threat globally. NIMR provided evidence from a national NCD risk factor survey, or the so-called STEP survey. It's a nationwide survey that was conducted by NIMR. It is highlighting NCD's burden, specifically diabetes, hypertension, cardiovascular disease risk factors. But also NIMR provided technical expertise for developing the national strategic plan for prevention and control of non-communicable diseases of 2021 to 2026 and other government efforts to respond to the NCD burden.
The named NIMRI Best Scientist for the year 2024, Dr. Elizabeth Shayo, says early career researchers can be the key innovators and creators.
Students are exposed to different environments, like this is research where we have scientific community, where researchers and academicians from different parts of the world have convened here, and there are different discussions, different areas, different innovative researches. So it is a good avenue for them to learn and actually to start planning for their future plans and to develop the interests that they are dreaming of.
From Dar es Salaam, Mariam Mubiru, TBC News.
The resident representative of the United Nations Development Programme in Tanzania, Shigeki Komatsubara, says UNDP Tanzania is content with Tanzania due to its commitment to move forward from a low economy to a middle economy country. He made the acknowledgement in Dodoma when he met and held talks with the Minister of Finance, Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba, on development cooperation between the organization and Tanzania. He emphasizes that Tanzania is one of the few countries that gives him the confidence that the economy will continue to grow steadily because it is built on an environment of peace and solidarity.
Tanzania is one of a few countries, as we have now, where I can have confidence to say that it is possible to accelerate economic development based on peace, unity, and stability. And we sometimes take it for granted that we have peace, unity, and stability. But these days, as we know, it is very rare commodity. And therefore, not only UNDP, but I think international community has high respect, but also high expectations that Tanzania would continue to produce positive stories for Tanzania and Africa, and also global community. That it is possible that peace, unity, and stability is a requisite for accelerated and, as Your Excellency said, inclusive development.
On the other hand, Minister of Finance Dr. Mwigulu Nchemba calls on the development stakeholders in the country, including the United Nations Development Organization, to support the government's commitment in investing in the strategic sectors to eliminate poverty.
Yetu mtusaidie kupeleka ujumbe huu kwa wadau wengine.
I want to send this message to other stakeholders that during this time that the government has focused on the production sectors, all the development stakeholders should have the same focus in order to increase strength in this area. We have conducted various seminars about capacity building. We have learned enough. Let us invest in more production activities. Our goal for private and public institutions is to increase productivity in the citizen by helping them to get out of vicious cycle of poverty.
Chief Statistician and Head of the National Statistics Office of Tanzania, Albina Chua, says her bureau, in collaboration with the UK Office for National Statistics, seeks to make administrative data more accessible for inclusive growth. Here are more details.
She made the disclosure during the opening of the capacity building workshop on improvement of the understanding of quality of administrative data in Tanzania's official statistics.
If you look at our population, for instance, we are now 61.7 million people, and we are growing at the pace of 3.2% per annum, right? So the population of Tanzania will double in 25 years coming. So by 2050, we are about 150 million people. So if we want to improve the routine data system that we are looking for, and it is already embedded in our Tanzania Statistical Master Plan as component number 2, we want to have enough information that will tell us exactly where we want to go.
When administrative data appropriately collected, integrated, managed, and well analyzed, can provide insights into population dynamics, service utilizations, program and effectiveness, and socio-economic trend, helping government, researchers, and organizations make informed decisions and improving the outcomes.
Furthermore, the 2022 National Population and Housing Census, Kamisa Anne Makinda, says the population and housing census gives only 60% of the correct information in development planning, stating that the administrative statistics are the one that gives a real picture of the situation in society and are the one that will help bring about real economic changes.
Some demands cannot be met by the census data, despite the fact that this census was the most loaded in terms of the number of questions in the questionnaires. I think all of you are witnesses if you are counted. Hence, through the administrative data that is periodic free is the best way to go in an attempt to bridge the gap for official statistics in the United Republic of Tanzania.
On the other hand, the British ambassador to Tanzania, David Conker, says the British government will continue to partner with Tanzania and ensure it improves administrative data and help the country provide accurate information that will enable more correct development planning.
The Office for National Statistics in the UK, the National Bureau of Statistics here in Tanzania, they're central, at the heart of these issues and these debates, and in our respective countries, they really are the go-to authorities on issues of national data and statistics, and that's why this partnership is, I think, very exciting. It brings together absolutely the relevant experts and right experts.
Reporting from Dar es Salaam, Rahima Sababili, TBC News.
Country Director of Trademark Africa, Elibariki Shami, says 2.5 billion shillings have been allocated for consumer protection rights project in Tanzania as part of promoting sustainable and inclusive trade. He made the remarks to TBC News, insisting that they will ensure that all Tanzanians are benefited with the project, while the priority being given to people with disabilities and women.
It's real to amplify the voice of consumers, the civil society, to ensure that they really know what is their rights and what is their responsibilities when it comes to trading. So it's ideally amplifying the voices of the consumers. But to ensure also people living with disabilities are not left behind, they become part of the economy, they participate in growing trade, but also women. Women have been the pivotal role of our families. To what extent can we build their capacities to participate in trade and the economic as a whole, in the general economy as a whole?
On the other hand, the executive director of the Foundation for Civil Society, Justice Rutenge, further elaborated the prospects of the project, specifically how it will be able to raise awareness on consumer protection rights to the public.
We expect that this project will be highly beneficial to Tanzanians in general, because when you're talking about consumer protection, who is a consumer? 60 million Tanzanians are consumers because they consume different goods and services that are offered in the market. So what we intend to do with this project is to enable them to have a voice in terms of the goods and services that they consume. If they consume a counterfeit product, a product that harms them, they should have a way of channeling their voice in a way that will help them be safer in their consumption next time.
The Memorandum of Understanding between the Foundation for Civil Society and Trademark Africa will last for 3 years, and more than 2 million people are expected to benefit in the country. Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now take a look at today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania BOT. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in the exchange rates. When we come back, it will be time for all the latest in the international news. Here's the international news as compiled by Ramadhan Impenda and read to you by Teddy Mparanyanga.
President William Ruto of Kenya has urged the 20 newly appointed judges of the High Court to serve with integrity and professionalism. Speaking during the swearing-in ceremony at the State House in Nairobi on Tuesday, President Ruto has called on the judges to uphold credibility of the judiciary when carrying out their duties. He said he encourages the judges to commit themselves on serving the people with integrity and professionalism and to reject corruption in all its manifestations. The head of state acknowledged the critical role governance institutions play in enhancing democracy and the need for a strong and effective judiciary. He added that their commitment to diligently serve the people of Kenya and do justice to them without fear, favor, bias, affection, ill will, prejudice, or any political, religious, or other influence will make the difference between progress and failure, freedom and tyranny, and prosperity and destitution for the people of Kenya. The 20 judges, among them 8 women, were appointed last week by President William Ruto following a recommendation by the Judicial Service Commission. South Africa's President Cyril Ramaphosa is set to sign a national health bill on Wednesday, aiming to ensure health coverage for all citizens in the country. More news from the South Africa President Office has informed that the bill, widely supported by voters, comes just before the May 29th national election, posing a significant test for ruling African National Congress. Costing billions, the bill was approved by lawmakers last year and will be rolled out gradually. It seeks to overhaul the healthcare system, addressing deep racial and social disparities persisting since the end of apartheid. However, business groups oppose it, fearing disinvestment and economic damage. Despite the signing, experts doubt immediate changes. And at least 2 French prison officers were killed and 3 others wounded on Tuesday in an attack on a prison van transporting an inmate who escaped. France Justice Minister Eric Dupont-Moretti has confirmed the attack on the prison convoy and said that the hit-and-run attack took place in the morning at a road toll in Incaville, the Euro department of northern France. The inmate was being transported between the towns of Rouen and Évreux in Normandy, and it was not immediately clear how many attackers there were in total. A police source has said that the attack was carried out by a team of several individuals who arrived in 2 vehicles and themselves later fled. However, the French President Emmanuel Macron has said that everything is being done to find the attackers.
And that was the international news. Sports news is up next. And in sports news, the Council of East Africa and Central Football Association, CECAFA, will stage the CECAFA Kagame Cup 2024 in Tanzania from July the 20th and the 4th of August 2024. The respective Premier League champions from 12 member countries, including Zanzibar, and 4 others teams will take part in the tournament. The tournament will be used as a pre-season platform for the teams to prepare better start for the 2024-2025 Cup Champions League and CAF Confederation Cup. Uganda Express Football Club did beat guest side Nyasa Bullets from Malawi 1-0 in the final when the tournament was last held in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania in 2021. And the chairman and technical advisory of Uganda Netball Association, Joseph Collins, says the association prioritizes young players to nurture them to be part of the netball development history in East Africa Netball Tournament taking place in Dar es Salaam. Speaking to TBC News, Collins says his team is eager to bring back the trophy to Uganda, as well as fostering the development of Tanzania netball through their participation in East Africa Netball Tournament, while some of the Wubu players believe that it is the right time to bring changes.
Yeah, of course, we are supporting grassroots development, and of course, netball starts from the grassroots. So the secondary schools in Uganda play good netball, the universities play good netball. So that's where the corporate companies and the clubs actually export some of this. So the sky is the limit for the sport in Uganda, because the young generation is actually so active when it comes to sport.
The tournament is good on our side as well, because we came for the trophy. We want to defend it for the second time, and we are ready for the tournament as well.
And that was the sports news. And now, before we conclude the news bulletin for tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast for the next 24 hours.
Hello, welcome to the weather forecast. And this is 24 hours of the forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. Starting from tonight, 9 p.m. Wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour over Lake Victoria and Lake Tanganyika. And for Lake Nyasa, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 30 kilometers per hour. And the state of the lake is expected to be slight to moderate. For the entire coast, wind is expected to flow at the speed of 40 kilometers per hour. And the state of the sea is expected to be rough. And this comes with an advisory of severe weather, of which Tanzania Meteorological Authority has issued an advisory of period of strong winds reaching 40 kilometers per hour and large ocean waves reaching 2 meters over some areas of Dar es Salaam, Tanga, Pwani, including Mafia Isles, Lindi, Mtwara, together with Pemba and Unguja Isles. Necessary measures and precautions should be taken. We expect chance of rainfall over a few parts of the country with modest reduction. And now let us see of the weather details, and this is what we expect for tonight. For Kagera region, we expect particle condition, thunderstorms over a few areas, and the rest part of the country is expected to be dry. And now let us see of what we expect for tomorrow. For Kigoma, Kagera, and Mara region, we expect particle condition, thunder showers over a few areas in sun periods. For Arusha, Kilimanjaro, northern coast, with the exception of Morogoro region, we expect particle condition, light rain showers over a few areas in sun periods. And the remaining parts of the country, we expect particle condition and sun periods. And now let us take a look of the next 4 days weather forecast.
That's all for today. Make sure to catch up again tomorrow. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, my name is Mariam Faris. Bye-bye.
And that marks the end of the news briefing for tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in Kiswahili at 11 p.m. On behalf of the whole team, I am Kanki Mwegomole. Good night.
Elia.